Let's talk about how to construct the major keys from the flat kinds. We've talked about how to construct major keys from the sharp kinds in the previous video, right? So let's talk about the flat kinds. When you start from the natural key, which is C. In the sharp kinds of major keys, we talk about using the tetrachord, ensuring that you have semitones between the last interval of each tetrachord, and of course the new scale inherits all the accidentals from the previous scale, right? And of course you raised the seventh. So in the flat kinds we have similar arrangement but with a little difference here and there. All right, so here in the flat kinds we're still going to ensure that we have semitones between the third and the fourth interval of each tetrachord. That is the last interval in each tetrachord. But in this case, you are going to flatten the fourth pitch on each scale, right? Now, when you go from C, C has no sharp, no flat, right? So you build the next key from the fourth pitch. So the fourth pitch is F. So when you build the scale, you have F. There's difference between F sharp major and F major. So what's the difference? You can put the answer in the comment section if you know. Now, you ensure that you flatten the fourth pitch. This scale is going to inherit the accidentals from C major, and C doesn't have sharp, doesn't have flats, right? C is just natural. So we're going to divide this scale into two equal parts so that we have the upper and the lower tetrachord. And you're going to ensure that you have semitone between the last interval of each tetrachord. Most importantly, you want to ensure that the tone and semitone arrangement of the scale conforms to the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone arrangements. Now let's see what happened. So from F to G is a tone, and that's correct. From G to A is a tone, and that's also correct, right? From A to B is a tone, and that is wrong. So unlike the sharp kinds, where we used to have the irregularity, and the flat kind is between the third note and the fourth note, and between the fourth note and the fifth note. There's supposed to be a flip in the interval so that we have semitone between the third and the fourth pitch, and tone between the fourth and the fifth pitch, right? So this is what we're going to focus on in the flat kinds. Of course, we're not going to use the sharp accidentals here, but the flat. So where are you going to put the flat sign? Now again, in summary, put the flat before the fourth note, okay? In the sharp kinds, you put the sharp before the seventh note of the new scale, but in the flat kinds, you put the flat before the fourth note, and it corrects all the anomalies in the pitches so that the new scale will conform to the required tone and semitone pattern. So when you put the flat on the fourth note, we have B flat there. You see that it corrects the interval so that we have tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 and semitone. E, F, remember, between E and F is a semitone, right? And between A and B flat is another semitone. So that's correct. Meanwhile, the new key will start from that fourth note. So in this case, you don't call it B or B flat, the scale of B flat. Remember, B major has sharps. It's of the sharp kinds, right? And B flat is of the flat kinds, right? So B flat major. Of course, the first note and the last note, we have the flat. So when you divide the scale into two tetrachords, we have semitones here and semitone here. Remember, like I said, the anomalies is usually between the third and the fourth note, and between the fourth note and the fifth note. So you add a flat sign to E, and of course octave, we also have a flat note so that we have the arrangement of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So in B flat, you have two flats which are on B, the tonic, and the subdominant E, right? You have two pitches that are flattened on B flat major, not three. You should not mix it up. It's not three, because the first B flat is the same as the last B flat, right? The next scale will stem up from the fourth note, which is E flat. So we want to build the scale of E flat major. So of course, E flat major will inherit all the features from the previous scale, right? And of course, divide this scale into two tetrachords. ensure you have semitone between the last interval of each tetrachord. Add a flat to the fourth note and it corrects the intervals. Alright, so that it conforms to the ideal tone and semitone patterns. So you have a flat before A, so that you have A flat on this key. So what's the name of this key? E flat major, right? It now means that the subdominant is the tonic of a new scale. The subdominant note, which is A flat, is the tonic of the new scale. So we want to build the scale of A flat major. A flat major, we inherit all the flats from E flat major. And of course, when you divide the scale into two equal parts, the lower and the upper tetrachord, you ensure you have semitone here and semitone here, right? And of course, you always have the irregularity here. So you have to flip this interval by using a flat sign, so that this we have a semitone and this we have a tone. So our flat sign will be on D. So on the scale of A flat major, remember A flat is different from A major, right? A major has sharps, but A flat major has flats, right? So the subdominant will be the beginning of the new scale, right? So the scale of D flat will now inherit all the flats from the previous scale, A flat major. And of course, when you divide this into two tetrachords, of course you can skip this aspect, but it's just to give you a feel of the two tetrachords in a major scale. You ensure that you have semitone between the last interval of each tetrachord, like two similar superimposed patterns. And of course, between them is a tone. So that's the concept in the major scale. So add the flat to the fourth note so that it corrects the anomalies in the tone and semitone arrangements there. So that we have G flat in the scale of D flat major, right? So the next scale will now be from the subdominant, which is G flat. So we want to control the scale of G flat major. G flat major will have all the flats from the previous, right? Quickly add the flat to the fourth so that you have C flat. In G flat major, you have all its pitches flattened except F. Now, the question is, what's the difference between G flat major and F sharp major? If you know the answer, just put it in the comment section, right? So it means the new scale will now be from the subdominant of G flat major, which is C flat. So we want to construct the scale of C flat major. All right. So C flat, we inherit all the accidentals from G flat major, right? And of course, you reduce the fourth pitch of the scale. That is the subdominant. And when you do that, you see all the pitches on C flat major will receive flat or will be flattened. Now, the question is, what's the difference between C flat major and C sharp major? If there's any difference, explain it in the comment section.